What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to go over 4 things I hope to see from Gotham Knights in this IGN first month. So we've already seen an okay amount, right? We got 16 minutes of gameplay. That was quite a big deal, I think, to a lot of people. And we got the suits, right? And although it was more sketches, and of course you get confirmation of what the suits are, you don't see them, in-game on the night. So it's been so-so, I guess, depending on your grade of it. But I really think, and I've said this before, I think the potential is there to do a lot of very special things in this month. So here's the deal. I don't think IGN is going to do as much as maybe some people think they're going to do. Normally for these IGN first, as we've already discovered with Gotham Knights, these are not daily things. They're maybe 2 times a week max, maybe more. And we're down a week in August, right? We've gone through 1 week and we have, several more left. So hopefully we get some stuff. But here's my list. And I want to start at number 1, Robin gameplay. Now, this is something that's pretty interesting, right? Because you have the character trailers, and of course people want the Red Hood trailer, which I do think will be it'll either be part of IGN first or it'll be part of Gamescom, right? Because Gamescom is actually slam dunk, like we're in the middle, August 23rd, 24th-ish. So I do think we get the Red Hood trailer at some point in the month of August, okay? Now that's, it's not going to move the needle, I think, all that much. The Robin gameplay, when you really think about it, and I didn't think about it much until rather recently, we haven't seen, I would say we've seen the least of Robin out of all 4 of the Knights in terms of actual gameplay. You could say, well, again, Red Hood doesn't have the trailer, but the trailer is like a minute and a half, right? Whereas we actually did get the rather long gameplay demo of Red Hood and Nightwing, and we saw a lot of combat from both of them. Now, Red Hood's combat wasn't very good, in my opinion, and, a lot of us have kind of linked that to just whoever was playing as Red Hood during that time just was not very good, right? But we visually got to see quite a bit of how Red Hood, behaves. Robin, when you think about it, we've seen easily the least. He was in the Batgirl very first gameplay thing they did at DC Fandom 2020, but you see his gameplay for like 20-30 seconds. Like, you really don't see a lot of him. So, long story short, I really think you need to give us, and you can do this in any way. You could do it through a side quest. You could do it through an open world kind of presentation. You can do it in any way you want. And some of those things, by the way, are going to be future things on this list. But I think we need to see Robin just moving around and fighting. The gameplay trailer, the 1.5 minute thing we got of Robin, is extremely good. It actually sold me on Robin, but it's like I don't necessarily want a 1.5 minute trailer selling me on it when I could watch like kind of unfiltered, uncut footage. Just let me see Robin in action, and we really haven't. We really haven't seen that. So hopefully we see that in the month. And because they're like picking out Batgirl, like she seems to kind of be a favorite of theirs, which is fine, and I like her. But it's like I don't really know if we needed to see the 16-minute gameplay through her. I really think actually Robin would have made a lot of sense to do that 16 minutes. And so hopefully, again, we can see that down the line. Number 2, I want villains. Now, this is kind of going to overlap with the next thing on the list, so I'll try to be careful with what I say or not going too far in, but just give me some goddamn villains. We've talked about this a lot. I can't imagine we go throughout this month and we don't see any more villains of this game. I think there's probably going to be hints in what they say or show, but at the same time, it's like just outright tell us like 1 or 2. Here's the thing, you don't need, like, if there's 10 side villains, which is like a nice even number, it's a number I've kind of settled on. It could be 6, it could be 15, it could, it could be anything. But I mean, say it's 10. You could give us like 2. We already know Mr. Freeze. You could give us 2 more. You could have 3 out of 10. And that could be it until you play the game and then you find out 70% of the other villain. Like, that's, you know what I mean? I don't understand why you wouldn't do that, because at this point it's like we don't really know. There is something to like a surprise and opening the game up and being like, oh, there's 11 villains and we only know 1, so we're getting 10 villains just like we didn't even know who they'd be, and now we get them all at once. There is something very special to that, but we've talked about kind of mixed response to this game. Who knows? Maybe announcing Firefly or Hush or more obscure villain that some people want and the Arkham games never have really done. Maybe that sells, like, I know it's a small, 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people. I don't know, but I feel like giving a couple villains would be a good idea. And again, how you do that could be in a variety of different ways. a gameplay kind of, breakdown of just the knights doing a side quest that happens to be one of those villains, that would make a lot of sense to me. So again, hopefully we get that. The third thing is factions. So again, this is kind of villains, because you'd imagine, like, if there's a faction of, people with, it's not going to happen, but if there's a faction of people with, like, paint on their, their faces, and they dress up as clowns, well, you could imagine maybe Joker. Now, Joker confirmed not to be in it, so that's why I used it as an example. But we know, I think, pretty strongly, even though it's never really been all that confirmed, but it kind of has, there's going to be different factions that basically take over the city of Gotham, and you're going to, they may have, like, watchtowers or whatever, and you're going to be able to go and defeat them. Similar-ish, I guess, to Batman Arkham Knight, but it seems more almost like centralized, where, like, it's really going to, maybe like an Arkham City in that way, where it's really going to feel like it's those villains. That's what I kind of get from what the rumor mill is about with this game, or just what people have said. So it's about time, I think, we see some. Like, we know Talons are going to control parts of the city, and you're going to fight, like, those enemies on, again, rooftops and all that stuff. And I don't know if they're, like, the same ones who commit crimes, right? Because there's kind of, like, ongoing crime things that happen, like Spider-Man, let's say, and you're going to have to stop it. We know that. They've said that. I don't know if it's going to be the same thing, but that's an interesting one, right? And I would like to see, this is very easy, you just show one. Like, you have Robin, or you have Batgirl, everybody's favorite, their favorite. You have her gliding onto a rooftop, and you fight a faction of villains, and and then you defeat them, and you unlock the tower. Maybe it's a fast travel thing or whatever, and then this was previously controlled by Two-Face's goons, and now it's yours. Now it's not controlled by, like, it's, you know what I mean? And it seems like there's going to be at least 4, and the Talons is one of those 4, I believe. So there's 3 more. Again, I don't know if you need to show all of them, maybe just one, but that's, and again, that would probably give you a villain too. So you could really do both at the same time. A faction would have to have some sort of leader, maybe like a League of Assassins, right? A lot of people talk about, like, a Ra's al Ghul. So you could easily show that he's a villain in this game, while also having assassins, and you're going to have to defeat them on certain rooftops around the city. And the final thing, pretty open-ended thing, is just open world gameplay. Now, we did get, like, I'm happy with the fact that we got those 16 minutes, those opening 16 minutes of the game. I think that was kind of bold. They kind of cheated, right? Because they skipped the prologue. They said that there's a prologue to this game. They skipped that, and they started right after it. And I think there was maybe like 1 or 2 cuts after that. So it wasn't, again, kind of like completely unfiltered gameplay, but it was pretty close. I give them respect for that. Give me something similar to that, but just be out in the open world. And again, a lot of these overlap. So, like, this can overlap with the factions. This can overlap with a side quest villain thing. This could overlap with, you could do all 3, or really all 4 of the things I mentioned in this video. You could do it all in one go. You play as Robin. You have a 10-minute, somebody's, Jeff Eleanor is playing the game. It's open world. You're flying around. You're doing whatever. And then you spot a side quest. You go to the side quest. It makes you take out a watchtower of this one faction. It's part of this villain's quest line, and you just completed all of it, right? You've shown us gameplay with Robin. You've shown us kind of just how the city works, because you're flying around. He doesn't fly. You're going around, let's say. You're going around. You're interacting. You're seeing, crimes in the works. You maybe can stop them, or you can stop them, but maybe you choose not to, right? You can show a lot of that, and again, just kind of a clean 10-minute thing. Not all that difficult, in my opinion, to do, but I'm not saying it's the easiest thing to do, but I just don't think it would be that difficult, and you would nail a lot of stuff, because then you get the factions, and you'd also potentially get a villain. So basically, like an uncut, unfiltered, kind of like 10-minute, just go in, play the game for 10 minutes. Just show us what it's like, going around Gotham. What is that like? So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, so you know when all these videos go up. If you want to follow or support me anywhere else, all my social media, including our Patreon and YouTube memberships, are in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.